last name so everyone knows exactly who these people are.
I actually lucked out, you two. I wasn't recording at that point. It literally just did not make the cut. You guys
Send it to your coach.
are in luck. Totally missed that part.
So welcome all that are here. Just want to, this is part of our alumni series we've been doing. So each week we've had alumni come back and kind of talk to you guys. We've got another great group here this week. So yeah, they're going to introduce themselves to you, but I've had the pleasure of being on the court with them, coaching all four of them at some point, even if I was jumping in. So introduce yourselves and get to know them. Rachel, go first.
Okay. Well, hi guys. My name's Rachel Reedy. I started out at SG my 13th year, and I got on one's teams, but I played down. So I only played on the 13s, 14s, 15s, 16s, 17. I didn't finish my 18s year. And then I was lucky enough, very lucky, to get recruited to play at a college in Hawaii. It's called Chaminade University. It's in Honolulu on Oahu. So you can just imagine how awesome that is. And so I've been there for 3 years now, and I'll be hopefully starting my senior year come fall this year. Yeah. Oh, also, I'm a right side. I guess that would kind of be relevant too. So I'm a righty right side, kind of one in a million. Crazy guy.
Cool. Payton?
Hi, I'm Payton Jensen, and I started playing at SG when I was also my 13th year. My first coach was Jez, and I eventually worked my way up to playing for Brian on 18 Roche my senior year, and I was recruited to play at San Francisco State University. And I love San Francisco. I wasn't super excited to go because I didn't know too much about it, but I'm really thankful that I'm there. I'm a sophomore, and I'm also a setter, so I have 2 more years, and yeah.
Cool. Kennedy sisters?
Okay, so I started playing 12's year. I played a year up on Hannah's team, and then for 2 years, and then I played 13's year twice. And Jez was my coach for, I think, 3 or 4 years.
Too long.
And I originally committed to a different school, but then I realized I wanted to go to school with Hannah. So I recommitted to Regis. And yeah.
This is Haley, by the way.
I'm Haley. Sorry. I'm a DS. I'm majoring in biology. Yeah.
I'm Hannah. I am a redshirt freshman eligibility rise, a sophomore now, and then I'm a junior academically. I started playing at SG when I was 11 at Ladybugs, and then I played on 12 Roche, and then I played on 13 Elite until 18 Elite, and I also was recruited to Regis, and then I'm an outside and middle back.
Cool. Just out of curious, Haley, what college were you committed to before?
JMU, James Madison University. It's in Virginia.
Really? And then, so I know where that was. And then how'd you make that, how'd that come about? How'd you decide that you wanted to play with your sister? Just tell me about that a little bit.
Well, okay, first of all, I just realized that JMU was super far. And I don't know, it just wasn't the right fit for me. And Hannah and I have always been really close. We're only a year apart. So I just thought it was a really good idea. And when I went to visit her, when I wasn't committed to Regis yet, I just was looking around the school and I realized that I really liked it. So I decided to go there.
How's it, are you guys competitive?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Especially now, that we're home.
Yeah, that's what I was curious about. How's that going back home now?
It's really nice, having another teammate with you to be able to do the workouts together, just to hold each other accountable in that sense. But I feel like if I was by myself, I would kind of slack off a little bit. So it's nice having someone there to just push me.
Yeah.
I'm sure Haley feels the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. That's super cool. Super cool. And then Payton, you got a bunch of, you got some siblings over there we all know. Are they pushing you to do some stuff at home or what?
Yeah. Well, Emerson, the youngest, she's 13. She'll always ask me every day. She's like, "You want to do the workouts with me?" And it's kind of fun. And her and Kendall do it. So we keep each other accountable, even though we have different workouts that we do. We all try and stay active. And we even put a volleyball net up in our front yard. And so like sometimes we'll go out there and we'll play. Well, it's not like a real net, but it's something to just stay active and keep touches on balls and stuff like that. So yeah.
Are there ever any arguments, and do you win those arguments?
I normally just stand back and just let them handle it. But yeah, there's a couple moments when we'll bicker at each other, like, but it's never something crazy. So
yeah, it's funny coaching just Kendall and you guys both. You guys are, I don't know, you're different but the same, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, go on. Go, Payton. What were you saying?
Oh, I was just saying we're very different, but we have we're just very different, but like we get along well most of the time, I guess.
Rachel, just out of curiosity, first of all, speaking of Payton, there's another Payton here that spells his name the same way, and I think she's knitting, and I just want to call that out, that I do see that if you're knitting at the same time or you're doing something that's amazing, Payton George, I just want to say nice job doing that. Yes, I see it. Rachel Reedy, I'm curious. How did you choose Chaminade? How did you get to that college? Like, what about that college drew you in?
Okay, so, oh wow, hello. It was 2000, I don't remember, but it was my junior year of high school, or going into my junior year, at the end of sophomore year, when they kind of found me at nationals and they gave me their little business card. That's kind of, I guess, I don't know how the recruiting process goes now. And so I remember my assistant coach got it, and she was like, well, of all our girls, she'd definitely be the one to just full send it to Hawaii. And so kind of obviously kept that communication process going with the coach, reviewing, like sending her highlight films and whatnot. And then of course my junior year, I go to Hawaii, and I was like, oh, like went in the middle of January, and it was just gorgeous, just absolutely gorgeous. And so I was like, that's an easy sell right there. But then at the same time, just, you get the opportunity, most times on a visit, you get the opportunity to play with the team too. And yeah, a lot of the girls, because I was only a junior, I would be playing with them too. But just being on the court, like with a college atmosphere, it's like you can only get so competitive with a club level because just the less experience. And so being able to play with some girls that had 3 or 4 more years on me, I was like, wow, like college ball is just incredibly amazing. And so not only did I just enjoy the team, and then my coach, she was just super sweet. And so I was like, okay, yeah, like I love a nice coach. And so those were all just kind of things that got me hooked on Hawaii. But I would definitely say location will definitely sell it for you. Kind of like Haley was mentioning earlier, how Virginia was really far for her. Like I honestly was like, yeah, I'd love to stay in California. That'd be cool. Like, maybe I'd go up north to Oregon, Washington, somewhere close enough that I could come home for the weekend. And when I came home from my trip or my visit, and I decided to commit, I was like, it was just something that I didn't expect, to let myself go that far away from home. But at the same time, sometimes you go on a visit and you feel solid, like that this is going to be the right decision. And that's kind of how I felt. So yeah.
Did you ever have any, and you're a super honest person, but did you ever have any, because I think a lot of times I talk to people and they think that like, once you know a decision, like that's it, you never have any sort of regrets or doubts. I'm curious if you had any other regrets along the ways, and did you ever battle back and just, did it never happen, or no, you knew the whole time?
Yeah, so being on like the ones team throughout my whole time at SG, all my teammates, I'm watching them commit to just these top schools like Pac-12 and Penn State. And, oh, don't get me wrong, I was beyond excited for them. But it kind of like took me to just remind myself that I'm still an amazing athlete, even though I committed to like a D2 school. And so if anything, that would have been the only cause for doubt, just being like, dang, am I not look good enough? It's like, is that why I'm not going D1? And it's not that, I couldn't have, but it was like, I want to go to a school where I know it's going to fit me best. And so once I got over that, and I was just like, yeah, I don't really care if it's D1, D2, D3, like, am I going to be able to pursue something that I love, which I'm in nursing school, which I love? Am I going to be able to play a sport, which I'm in love with? Yes, for 4 more years, like, heck yeah. So once I got over that, there was honestly not a question of doubt in my mind, but I can't say that's for everyone. But that was the case for me, at least.
Very cool. And I love I love like coming to the realization that like volleyball isn't this, like you make it this like really big thing, you know what I mean? And so like, It's not like you find that, oh, I got to go to this like really big school, but that's more about other people. That's like less about yourself. So it's cool that you like had that discovery because it's just so true.
Yeah.
So true. So we heard a little bit about Haley. Hannah, how'd you decide Regis?
Me?
Yeah.
I sent out a bunch of emails to several coaches, just trying to, feel out the recruiting process. Another tip, coaches at schools love it when you do the work, when you don't have your parents send emails.
Yeah.
But alumni,
You can tell. You can tell. When
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can definitely tell. But an alumni at San Gabriel, I think she might be a coach still, Diamond Ridley Pierce. She went to Regis, and she was friends with my older sibling, so she actually recommended it to me. And so I kind of got in touch with the coach, and Diamond really sold the school to me. But there was other factors. I visited the school, I met the coach, I loved the team. But Diamond really sort of sold it for me.
Yeah, you're a good player. I'm sure you sold yourself too.
Oh.
More than you even know. That's for sure. That's for sure. Yeah, cool. That's all super good stuff. Just out of curiosity too, and then Payton, how did you choose San Francisco State? How'd that come about?
I kind of did the same thing as Hannah, where I just kind of emailed a bunch of schools, just like see where like I would end up, and San Francisco State ended up they responded to what all my emails and stuff, and I ended up visiting the school, and I liked it, but I like wouldn't say that I like loved it when I first went. And part of me was also like I really wanted to play D1 like that, and it was just kind of like that's something that I feel like like teammates said like we're committing to D1, same thing as like Rachel. But as soon as I like committed, I like felt like it was the right fit. Like I liked all the girls, I liked the coaches, and everyone said that San Francisco was like a really great city to be in. And so as soon as I got there, I loved my teammates, I loved my coaches, and like I love my major, and so it was a really good fit. And like I love the city. I like couldn't imagine myself anywhere else. So yeah.
Well, they're lucky to have you because you're a little baller. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity too, just what were all of your experiences? Because they're all very different. Like there's so many different levels of where you can end up in college. So just one by one can start with the sisters. But was there any differences what were the big differences or big takeaways as you went from like club to college kind of thing?
The best way I could describe it is that like volleyball in college is your job. Like it's just a really big time commitment. And that was initially something I was thinking about when I decided to play, is that would I want to be committed to that time? That would I want to put in that much time? And in club, you meet twice, maybe 3 times a week. You have a tournament every other week. But in college, you're meeting every day. Maybe you'll have one day off. You have games, you're traveling, you're putting school on top of that. Some schools require like mandatory volunteer hours, and you're really representing the school. So that's the biggest thing, is that in club, you're, building yourself, you're making yourself into a better player, but in college, you have to treat it as a job.
Cool. What about you, Rachel?
Yeah, I would definitely agree with like everything Hannah said. It's the time commitment for a college sport is so much more different than club. And so that's a great, it's a good and a bad thing, because in one sense you're like, yeah, more volleyball. Like, of course I'd want that. But then it's like, okay, you're also with this same group of girls way more than usual. And so like with my club team, I mean, we just had such an amazing bond. But then again, we're only meeting 2 or 3 times a week with tournaments on the weekend. And then with your college team, it's like, oh, you're sisters. Like you're going through everything, like the highs, the lows, the blood, sweat, tears with them. And it's just a different form of relationship, because it's not the same of, I can't wait to see them after my long day of school. But it's like, no, I'm going to see you in the morning at weights. I'll see you at team development in the middle of the day. I'll see you at practice at night. And so just getting used to that, was really neat, because then obviously the relationship you have with your teammates plays a factor into the game. And so, yeah, I feel like also a college season is just so much more fast-paced than a club season, because club, you know, you have tournaments every other weekend and whatnot, and with college you got games sometimes twice a week. Living in Hawaii, we come to California and we'll play like 4 or 5 games in 1 week, and so it's just a lot more condensed, and so it's different in that way, and you have to get used to it, and there's not much that you can really do to prepare yourself, because you can't just tell your coaches like, give me more practices and more games, like I want to prepare for college. It's like when it comes, you're going to figure out how to make it work, but it's just being open to that mindset change, and just the new physical demands of the game.
It's a really, really good answer. Did you guys, this is for everybody here too, well, just a reminder too, first, if you're out there, you can, if you have any questions at all for any of them, type it in and we'll read it out. Just type it in and go ahead away just as this thing goes on. Just a reminder of that. Gosh, I got sidetracked now. I was just saying, or I was thinking, or I was curious if you guys were talking about that balance of like it being a little like way more time than you have with like club. How did you guys balance that at first? 'Cause I know, I mean, college, like you guys are having fun too. You know, you gotta have to do that. You gotta have some nice balance. So how are you guys managing that?
For me, you really have to make use of your weekends. I know that in college, I never made use of my weekends. I just did my homework on school nights, in high school, I meant to say. But in college, you really need to put in the effort to really make an organized schedule. And that's something that really helped me personally, is I made a schedule of what I needed to do every day. And in a sense, like having practice sort of made it easier, because you can't really procrastinate. Like you have to finish your work before. And then another thing that NCAA does, I think it might be for all freshmen, but Rachel, Payton, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it might be for all freshmen, but you have study table hours. And that really helps the transition, where you have a certain number of hours. Like for us, I think it was 6 hours a week. And then you meet with your coaches or some sort of proctor, and you have to do homework during those 6 hours. And then you have to meet a certain GPA requirement to be out of study table. So having study table your first year really helps that transition from high school to college level academics and time management.
Yes. Good answer. Did you guys, what was it like, did you have an experience when you went training in altitude for the first time?
Oh my God, yeah.
Tell us about that. What was that like? 'Cause that's a thing. Like, at first I was like, no, it's not real. It's not real. And I'm like, the ball's going farther. I'm out of breath. Like, tell us about that.
Yeah, preseason double days, I came in and like the first day, I think I'm pretty sure I almost puked like twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was horrible. But I mean, you get used to it, but it definitely takes like at least like 2 weeks to get used to the altitude. It sucked though at the beginning.
But if anyone's thinking about going to school in the altitude, when you come home, you feel really good.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think you have like a high, Rachel, the nurse, you have high level of blood cells or something.
Rachel's like, I'm at altitude 0. I'm good. I'm getting the vitamin D. I'm chilling. I'm okay with it. That's what's going through her head right now.
Yeah, what do I do in my free time? I tan. No, just kidding. Speaking of that, kind of just balancing the whole workload and whatnot. So going in, I went into a nursing program that starts your freshman year. I know it's different for different schools and whatnot. And so I knew it was going to be asking a lot more of me than I was used to. But, you know, coming out of the high school, Hannah and Haley both went to this high school too, Arcadia. It's a great high school, and it prepares you just for college courses and just time management skills. But I was kind of just going into everything like, oh my gosh, like I need to just put every like free time aside just for homework, just for studying. And I'm not going to lie, I think I overstudied. I think I spent too much time on schoolwork. And that I think freshman year, it only gets harder every year. So my biggest advice is like, go enjoy your college experience, but be wise about how you're rationing your time. I think there were a lot of hikes that I could have done and enjoyed. I think there were a lot of more times where I could have just gone out like for a beach day with my teammates that I opted out of because I was so overwhelmed with homework. And as much as that's like a wonderful priority because your GPA is important, your degree is important, I think the college experience is more than just your diploma and your sport. And so I think, you know, looking back, I would tell my freshman self, stop freaking out. but then at the same time, definitely set aside specific time for your homework. And when you're doing that, I know I'm going so mom right now, put your phone aside. Like just put some time aside for your homework, get your homework done, and you'll have actually enough time to go out and enjoy your life. But then, yeah, that's all I have to say.
So Rachel, first of all, really love that accent wall you got going on behind you right there. Cool coloring. I'm curious about the writing on the chalkboard. What's on the chalkboard?
Oh, it's actually a Bible verse.
What is it?
It's what bliss you experience when your heart is pure, for then you'll see more of God. So I'm Christian.
It's important to you enough to write it above your bed. So why is that important?
So it's like, I mean, along with the whole purity sense that I'm sure people are familiar with Christians, it's like not only in the sense you might assume, but just like in other ways too, like the music I listen to and like the things that I spend my free time doing or the thoughts in my mind. It's like, am I staying pure or like devoted to my faith? And then I believe like you just experience a more blissful, wonderful life. So yeah.
Cool. Especially as you're rocking
Definitely, you know, my faith is something that got me through college and like tough semesters too. So any of you guys that have faith, just hold on to that. I think it's really, really important part of your life.
Cool. Payton, well, speaking of your life, Payton, what do you guys do? What do you do with your free time? So you have very little of it. What do you guys do with your free time out there?
During our free time, we like to go into the city and just kind of do random stuff. There's a lot of like restaurants and like a lot of food places that we like to go and eat. And then there's this park called Mission Dolores Park, and it's just this huge, just like grass area, and it's like on a hill and it overlooks the city. And so when San Francisco has like sunny days, we'll all just like bring blankets, bring snacks, and have like little picnics. Or sometimes we'll go to the beach. Just kind of depends on like the day and the weather. But we just try to like get out of off of campus, and just kind of do whatever in the city. There's so much stuff. So
such a cool city.
Yeah, it really is.
There's we have a question that came up here. The question is, Rachel, someone would like to know how you're...
this is for Hannah and Haley, I think.
Or is this? Oh, Regis.
Yeah.
Yes. Kenji would like to know how that NCAA run that you guys had for East this past season, and how'd you guys stay focused? Good job and congrats.
It was pretty gnarly. The year before me, Regis made the Elite Eight, and then my freshman year, we didn't do too well. I think we made the first round of our conference tournament. You have a conference tournament, and then if you make that, or depending how you seed in that, you make the NCAA tournament. Regionals, and then the NCAA tournament. So we worked really hard this past spring. Our coach handed it to us. We had goals. We set minor goals every practice, and that definitely helped. Also, team chemistry helped a lot. Staying focused was pretty hard, especially with school, social life. But, you know, we made it an effort to come together as a team after every practice and just remind ourselves what our goal was. And it was pretty cool to go. We had like a community service where we went to all different schools. All the NCAA athletes went to different schools. And it was actually pretty nice because it was held in Denver. There's another school in our conference that was held in Denver, and so we didn't have to travel anywhere, so we could still take our finals.
Yeah, we had finals that week, which was pretty tough, coordinating that with our professors, but it ended up being okay since the NCAA tournament was in Denver. But overall, yeah, it was pretty tough, but I think something that really helped with the team chemistry was we had a bunch of incoming freshmen come in, and I think that kind of boosted up everyone's competitive aspect to the game, because there was a lot of more competition for people's spots and playing time, and I think that really helped us get to the semis.
Yeah, so you're looking at a nice future there. You got a bunch of young ones that you guys did really well, huh?
Yeah.
Good for you. That's super cool.
Thanks.
There was one other question I was gonna ask. I don't remember, but I am happy that Rachel decided. First of all, I am happy that you used the word gnarly. Hannah, very happy about that. I think that's incredible vocabulary, and I appreciate it.
Thank you.
And Rachel, I know all the parents at home are very happy that you talked about overstudying. I'm sure that's exactly what they want to hear about their Don't overstudy. Or overstudy. I
Oh
love
my gosh, my nerd self can't help it. I'm such a freaking nerd.
No, I love it. I love it. What are your guys' majors?
I'm
Uh,
nursing. I know I mentioned that.
Hannah and I are both bio. I'm
And
bio in chemistry right now.
yeah, and I'm kinesiology.
Cool.
No humanities, unfortunately.
Do you have, out of curiosity, do you guys have any then just your favorite overall volleyball memory that you've ever had? And that could be, and a lot of the things that like I hear sometimes it's not even volleyball related. That's okay. Just your favorite, just playing volleyball. Like I want to hear from you, from each of you, your favorite moment and the biggest takeaway. Like the thing that you've learned the most from volleyball. You know, both of those two things. I know those are tough questions. That's a hard one, like right away to put you on the spot with those two. Is there anyone that has even close to an answer in their brain that they can start with? Yes, great.
So honestly, making the NCAAs was really cool, but my all-time favorite volleyball moment was actually with Jez. I think it was our 17th year. We were down. It was the third set. We were fighting, but we actually got the bid. Jez didn't tell us that we had the bid, so we were fighting for a bid, even though we already had it. We were down, I think, like 5 or 6 points. They were at game point, and we came back and we won. And just winning that set was just the best feeling ever. That was the sickest moment ever. I'm sure Jez can attest to that. But what I took away from that was that this sounds super cliche, but you can't give up just because we were down so many points in the third set. It almost seemed impossible that we were going to win. But the fact that we came back and won just shows that winning is a possibility in every scenario, and you have to give 100% no matter what. So that's my moment.
Great.
Do you remember anything else about that game, Hannah?
What?
Please tell me you remember more about that game.
I remember I was
Serving when we were down 14-12.
Micah, right?
Yes, a middle blocker with a not so spectacular float serve. Scored like 3 points, ridiculous. Hannah actually chiseled the block for the win. Learning you don't tip on match point, right, Hannah?
Right. Payton, you were there too, right?
No.
Payton was on that team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
By the way, everyone that's watching this, swing when it matters. Don't go for it. Take the big swing at the big time. That's what we want.
I remember Brent told me if you tip on game point, you're benched for the rest of the season. It's first practice or something.
All right. And then everybody else?
I'm really trying to think about like a moment when I was just like, because I think I've just had so many. I think it's just like the combination of every like high and low of volleyball, but especially the highs after those lows that like just make me love the game so much. And I was talking to one of my old coaches. I don't know if you guys know Otto, but and we were talking, and I remember one time I brought up that my mom had asked me, she's like, why do you even like volleyball so much? And I was like, I mean, yeah, I like volleyball, but I think more than that, it's the team. It's the team that I love. And so just trying to think of like a specific like volleyball memory, I just kept going back to just like times in our hotel when we would just be like blasting music and dancing and like hanging out and like running back and forth to get ice from the ice things and like fill up our tubs for an ice bath. And you know, without a team, it's like you can't celebrate a big victory and like enjoy it as much. And so just having like a group of girls that is fighting for the same thing that you're fighting for, and it's like when you guys go down, you go down together, and when you come back, it's like you're that much stronger because you're fighting together. I don't know. I think that's just what's made me love this game so much. I used to do track, and I hated it. I hated it because it was like a one-man sport, and I was like, I can't do this. Like, I don't have anyone in my corner with me. So I think just, you know, taking away from that, it's like just the beauty of relationships and the beauty of having like a group of people that are passionate about what you're passionate, and just fighting for something that you're very invested in too, and like someone that's equally as in setting aside time and like work and their focus for something that you're sacrificing things for too. I think it makes volleyball so just amazing. It's like a lot of other team sports, but I don't know. There's just something about volleyball.
That's really, really well said. And like, too, I think that's important. Like, one thing I think is really cool is how you just ask yourself, like, why do I play volleyball? Why do I love it? And I think that's important to ask yourself along the way, if that's the case. And I think, too, it's okay that at volleyball, I think we have this thing where you have to love it. I think it's okay for it to be something that's like you just like doing. That's okay, too. It doesn't have to be this, like, I just love everything about it thing, you know? Payton, what about you?
I don't know. I don't have any one specific. There's just so many, like, kind of what Rachel was saying. Like, I've made, like, some of my closest friends, like, because of the sport. And, like, I can't, like, pinpoint, like, one moment that has, like, made it, you know, that has impacted me a lot. It's just kind of, like, all of it has impacted me. And I feel like it's helped me be a better person, just, like, you know, just, like, working with other people and just, like, being on a team and just, you know, trying to get through, like, the lows and the highs together with other people. And it's just, I don't know. That's just kind of helped me with everything else in life too. Yeah.
I'm just like curious, how else is it like, I don't know, because it just seems like you're talking a lot about that. And I believe in that. Like, I didn't really know what all the stuff that volleyball was doing for me until afterwards. So I'm curious what you were saying, like, how has volleyball helped you in life?
I feel like it's helped me, like, be able to, like, work with other people and just kind of, like, be able to, like, communicate better with people and just, like, and for me, that's something, like, I have struggled with is, like, you know, like, I'm a very shy person. And so, like, being and, like, in, like, something that's kind of out of my comfort zone and, like, well, it's not never mind. I don't know what I'm trying to say. But it's just, like, it's helped me be more confident, like, in myself and, like, with other people. And I just feel like it, like, looking back and, like, all the different moments and, you know, like, losing and, like, you know, what it seemed like so horrible, like, at the time, but, like, now it's like I realize, like, you know, like, I can work so much harder to, like, not lose. And it's just, I feel like it has given me a better work ethic as well. And it's just, like, it's impacted me in so many different ways that I didn't think that it ever would, just because of a sport.
Very cool. Looks like you got lots of art on the wall over there too.
Yeah, it's all Kendall's
really?
Stuff. My sister loves to paint and do all that stuff, so that's all hers.
Do you have any hobbies outside of volleyball?
I like to I like to do, like, some art stuff. Like, I like DIY crafts. Like, I like recently over break I've been, like, painting on pants and, like, kind of, like, designing my own, like, and stuff like that. So I like to, and I love reading. So yeah, I like all that kind of stuff.
Any books you're reading right now?
I'm reading Crazy Rich Asians.
What's that about?
So, it's about this, like, this couple, and the girlfriend is from America, and she and her boyfriend has this super rich family, like, in Singapore, and she has no idea, and then he takes her to Singapore to, like, meet his family. And I haven't seen the movie yet because I really want to finish the book, but I heard it's really good, and so.
Cool.
Yeah.
Rachel,
Yeah.
besides playing the guitar back there, because I see that on your bed. Well, what else?
Oh my gosh.
What else you got? What else besides volleyball?
So definitely just music. I've been trying to write more songs too, especially since quarantine leaves you with nothing better to do but sit with your thoughts. I like to do art stuff too. I was actually thinking about painting some jeans, but I'm not, like, artistic. I'm creative, but I'm not artistic, if that makes sense. And I've been trying to pick up reading because I'm tired of textbooks. And so I'm like, okay, let me find a fun book that, like, is actually fascinating. Honestly, what else? Cooking. I love cooking. I like to look up recipes. I like to make dinner for my family. Today I just whipped up something random because we had a lot of stuff in the fridge, and I was like, I want to get, like, creative. I don't want to, like, follow a recipe.
How'd it turn out?
Say that again?
How'd it turn out?
It was honestly pretty fire. So it was, like, farro, and then I roasted some bell pepper and zucchini, and then mixed it all together with some goat cheese, and it was, like, the best vegan dinner. But haters gonna hate. Sorry. Vegan life.
And Hannah, what about you? You guys got any? What other hobbies do you guys have outside of volleyball? Anything going on?
There you go. Think. Oh, we both have like an obsession of dogs. We have these 2 corgis, and like they're our life. Yeah.
I'm listening to you guys answer, and I'm watching Jez's face, and I kind of want to let Jez just ask you, like, because I can see he's got stuff going on. I can see it in his eyes. The wheels are.
I've seen plenty of photos of their dogs.
We have our own Instagram account for our dogs if you guys want to follow.
Thirsty for followers. No, I like baking. I also really like ceramics, even though I haven't taken a class since high school, but I might take that if my college offers it. That's pretty much it.
Cool. All right. Well, I just want to thank you guys for doing this. It's super cool that you've been doing this and taking the time out of your day during this time to come out and talk to them and connect with some of our alumni. So thank you so much for coming back in this way. We're all very, very, very grateful. So yeah, just want to say thank you. And yeah, and we'll see everyone that's watching. We'll see you guys next week for some new guests, some new great guests, just like we have here this week. All right. Thank you guys. I'll see you.
Deuces.
Okay. Okay, Dave?
Thank you, guys.
I don't think they can hear you, bro. Can they? Is that everyone? All right.